Hi everyone, welcome to my November 2022 energy update. Now this year has flown really quickly and it's just one big blur. Things obviously just started to opening up and everyone's just partying and carrying on and whatnot. And in the midst of it all, there is so much energy flying back and forth. In the last week or so, I think there are people who've been having a lot of nausea, having a lot of ascension symptoms going on. And for me, it's been on and off. I don't normally get nausea, but for some reason I'm getting nauseous, especially around the new moon, October new moon, and going towards probably full moon in November. And as I see it, especially over Melbourne being full of rain and floods, I look up in the sky, which I very rarely see the stars at this point, and it's somehow, when you do, it's only for a small glimpse and then it's covered in grey cloud. And what I feel when the grey clouds cover over Melbourne City, I feel that there is a lot of kind of energetic warfare going on above the clouds. And during this period, that's where I'm actually in a fetal position and feeling quite nauseous. The Schumann resonance has been going off here and there, but not the whole time. There's also other things. I actually feel, and also talking to others, that the veil is thinning very quickly, and slowly people are ascending or waking up, and it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. Also, those who've been ascending, certain things that they used to do don't really feel enough. There's certain things that a lot of the light workers are somehow feeling like they're in a holding pattern. Quite a few are actually getting quite frustrated and they want answers. They're sick of that carrot being dangled in front of them, and every time they feel like they're getting very close, the carrot moves away. Now, why is there a delay? Everyone's asking. Is it because that the human race is not ready to ascend, or is there still some loose ends to tie up? A lot of people are feeling quite disillusioned because they've been waiting for so long and they're getting triggered very quickly and easily. But all I can say from my own experience is that it's just going up and up and up, and we need to actually stay grounded and center ourselves much as possible and not lose patience. Because you think about it, in the historical sense, it's taken centuries for humans to evolve, and the last 200 years we've been accelerating at a massive pace, whether it's technology or even knowledge. Due to the internet, we're learning really fast. We're getting a lot of information in one hit. A lot of light workers are getting a hell of a lot of downloads, and which, as I said earlier, it's making us quite nauseous. So we need to be patient and have humility and not get triggered. At the end of the day, we have our own communities that we need to look after in front of our faces. Don't look what's happening across the world necessarily. Look what's in front of you and what's in your 10-kilometre radius. And if everyone can focus on improving their 10-kilometre radius, then the grid will heal very quickly. So if everyone looked at and focused on what's around them and trying to increase their grid, then everything will be for the better. Now, Victoria's been hit a lot, and the time of this recording, not only did we have rains coming through, we've also had very strong winds. And every time I see the winds come through, I know that the elementals are working damn hard to balance this planet, or balance our Earth. And they're blowing away all the nefarious stuff that's going on. Now, again, people are talking about the EBS, and it seems like if you journal this, it's about a year ago they said similar thing. And if you look or listen to my energy updates in the past, I had talked about getting 2 weeks' supply of food. Now, again, I think that should be a given by now. We should always have 2 weeks' supply of food, regardless, or supply of stuff that we consume in the house on a regular basis. Now, don't fear it. Just be prepared. That's all. It's like, being ready during bushfire season. Don't fear it every time, but be aware of it and move on with your life, and don't stop your life because you're fearing if something's going to happen. Now, we have things coming up. People are getting anxious again. We are heading towards our own elections, Victorian elections, and there's also midterm elections across the world, in the US in particular. Obviously, people are anxious. It's just part of change or whatever, but it seems that people hit a crescendo around this time of year. Now, just be aware of it. It is a pattern. And just have that, cognitive dissonance with things around you. And I think we're getting better at that. Just be aware, but move on with your life. Don't be careless, but just still enjoy. So I think people are over time having become more resilient. The ones who are aware are becoming a lot more resilient. And those who haven't awakened yet, well, what can we do? We can only do and help as much as we can to those people. If we haven't learned anything in the last couple of years, then I don't know what will. But hopefully at this point in time, at this juncture, we are actually quite resilient, strong and independent. So with these energies coming in November, I'd say, yeah, okay, there is a lot going on leading up to Christmas. There's a lot of happenings going on, and the energy, as usual, when it comes to the twins, is strong again. Why is that? Is it because it's spring in the southern hemisphere going towards summer that people get a bit, hormonal? Or is it in the northern hemisphere where they're heading towards winter and they're getting a bit more romantic? I don't know. But what seems to be quite funny is that the divine feminines who haven't had signal have now got signal. And if they have not come into union with their counterpart, they're feeling them or they're seeing them. They somehow reappeared. They're back on the radar. Now, what is that about? Is it because of the 11th portal opening? Maybe. Is it because, as I said earlier, people are starting to socialise this time of year and getting all hormonal and horny? Maybe. But there is definitely a signal that is happening with the divine feminines. Some may be quite faint, but all of a sudden, like I said, they reappear out of nowhere. But I think at this point, we just have to soldier on and continue what we need to do and be aware of all these multifaceted things that are going on at the same time. So I'm going to have to pull the cards out again for the overall energy for November, and then I will do cards for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine for the twins moving forward, and let's go from there. Just another thing, just look up into the sky when it's actually clear, and you might see some things that you haven't seen before, and just realise that the veil is thinning very quickly. What I also notice is that there are a lot of synchronicities going on. I'm not just talking about the numbers, I'm talking about word patterns. Like, for example, the other day, the word wolf came out, and then again I saw the word wolf somewhere, and I saw an actual wolf in the TV. It's like we're becoming our own algorithm. Like we are setting up our own algorithms, and we're actually seeing things that mean something to us, or it's a message from the universe. Also the other day, the word shark. Now I've seen shark 3 times now, and I'm paying particularly attention to what that all means to me, right? It may not mean anything to anyone else, but it might be something towards me. And so when you notice these things and become aware, your soul is actually telling you what to do next. And once you have all this pattern recognition, you become quite powerful and intuitive as well. The veil is thinning quite quickly. And there are connections that you wouldn't believe, that you would meet certain people for a certain reason. And for me, I'm down to 1 degree separation of people. Used to be 3, now I'm down to 1. Wow, guys, so I've done the energy spread. I am an intuitive reader, so whatever resonates, great. What doesn't, just stuff it, like I've said in the past. So what I have here, the very first card is the 2 of Cups, and that usually means lovers, or it could mean a work contract or some kind of offer given to you, which you actually want. Now, I see this particular card, and it looks like you are going to meet your counterpart very soon. And you will be both looking at each other, and you're going to remember all the loving that was happening. You've got the 2 of Wands right next to that. So you're going to have to think hard what you actually want, right? I mean, are we going to go down that road again? Or what? Or should I take that job offer? You'd have to decide. And the funny thing is, the next card is the Ace of Swords, which is the new chapter. It means a decision, the truth has to be made. If you stick to your truth, things are going to shift for you very quickly. And with that, of course, is the 7 of Wands. You're going to defend your own truth, whether it's relationship, your honor, family, politics. You're going to have to defend it and stand your ground and stick with it. The very next card is the Judgment card. It's the card of all cards when it comes to divine intervention in that way. And so with the Judgment card, I just had to narrow it down, so I had to get another card to see what that actually means. And it means the Ace of Wands. It means once you've had your truth, you need to defend it, and with Judgment coming through, you're going to have to take action from it, because that's the direction that you need to go. It's giving you a club in your hand to start moving forward and batting your way through. So it's quite interesting, guys. So if you look at in a romantic sense, you will come to meet. You're going to have to make a decision. It's either a new person or a person from the past. Let me just check that. In which you're going to go through hermit mode, or which you have been going through hermit mode, and you're going to have to make a decision, and it has to be a truthful one, and you have to defend it fiercely, because that's the only way you're going to shift your pattern. And Divine's coming in, and you're going to have to take action with full force for you to be able to punch through in your next chapter in life. You can't stay put anymore, guys. You have to make that decision. Wow, Divine Feminines. My first card here is the Seven of Cups. Now, it looks like you are trying to work out, what am I doing? Where am I going? You've got so many crossroads here that you're just wondering what is the best option for you, right? So you've been thinking about that. Next to that, I've got the Five of Cups, where you're kind of a bit worried about the choices that you make, because there is going to be some spillage, right? I see some sort of collateral damage going on. It's almost similar to the Hermit card, what this person's wearing, but you're going to have to make a decision. And here next to it is the Queen of Swords. You're going to have to get to a point where you have to speak your truth. And you might be blunt about it or quite forceful about it, because it's going to probably be like a Tourette scenario where you've held it for so long, and then all of a sudden you're just going to go coming out of your heart saying, this is what I want, this is it, I don't want to take up any more bullshit whatsoever, and I'm going to slash through to what I want. And you're going to get to a point where the very next card here is the Six of Wands. You are going to be proud of your decision eventually. You're going to have to be in public to what the decision you've made. And it's quite daunting, because your emotions will be revealed, and it will be revealed to everyone else to see, and they will all be watching you. The very next card from there is the Six of Swords. So you are actually moving away to calmer waters, whereas this one, which I have the Robin Wood version, the Six of Swords here is meaning you are moving away, moving towards calmer waters, ascending even, and getting to a better chapter in life. And as you can see, there is a sort of a silhouette or a spirit behind this person that is just steering. So your higher self is actually steering you onto another land or another place, or just another situation. So with these cards here in the month of November, you would have to be making certain choices, and you're going to have to stand your ground, and you're going to have to expose yourself publicly, or have people know about your next move, and you'll be divinely guided, or your higher self will guide you out of that rough water and into a much better future. And to clarify that, where you're heading is actually towards the Ten of Cups, the happy ever after card. So yeah, it's gonna be quite confronting for you girls or guys. And you just have to stand and be brave of the decision you're going to be making, because at the end of the day, Ten of Cups is where you should be going, not still staying put and hoping that the status quo will continue, because there's no longer that choice. You have to move forward now. So the Divine Masculine spread. Now the first card I've got here is the Page of Pentacles. And this card sort of shows that this person is raising up a coin, which is kind of like a peace offering, or a little offering, or a little apology. But the next is the Five of Swords, which means that they could have been slapped down from this apology and from the other person. And I had to clarify it. And I had Ten of Swords. So I think when Divine Masculine has made some offering or apology. They got slapped down severely, and which ended it. And with that, next to it, we've got the Hierophant. Now, Hierophant's quite a powerful card overseeing. I think it blocked the Divine Masculine from moving forward. It could be a boss, it could be it's some kind of superior person who has control of their lives at this point. It was someone from higher up. Next to that card, we've got the 10 of Wands, which means that you guys have been carrying a lot of burden, and possibly, let me think, I think you were able to leave all that shit behind, but you had to carry some stuff and you had to move away from it all. But it's hard. You had to move on and move away from that situation. So possibly that you had to come out of it the other side carrying more burden to escape that stronghold from that Hierophant. But it's led you to the next card, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which is meaning a new chapter in life. So there is some divine intervention there where you are, despite the burden that you are going through, is moving towards a new chapter which is more stable. And I thought, wow, this is quite of a struggle that you guys are going through. It's this Hierophant here that has been blocking you for a while, but you are going to come out of it and you are going to be more stable after that. And I had to, as I was dealing the deck, I look what was on the bottom of the deck. It was the Empress card. So to me, I feel like that is the direction you're going towards, the Divine Feminine, unknowingly. And on top of the deck that I saw was the Ace of Cups and the Four of Wands. So Divine Masculines may not see it at this point because they're just carrying their burden, their load. They're just moving away from the carnage of the past and moving towards a new chapter, and it's actually going towards their counterpart. I had to clarify the Ace of Pentacles as well, and I've got the Fool card. They're going to take that leap of faith, and I think they might give it another shot with their counterpart, the Empress, or they're going to come across their Empress very soon, because we've got the Ace of Cups and Four of Wands, and that's a twin thing. They might not see it at this point in time, but there is definitely, once the stability, or once they actually have 2 feet on the ground and not too many moving parts, they're going to actually take one more step and take a reach. They're going to reach out to the Empress, which goes back to my general energy reading where the Two of Cups, they're going to meet eye to eye and they're going to go from there. Yeah, this Ace of Pentacles is definitely a divine intervention which will lead them to the right path. So for this month in November, there'll be 2 frequencies again. One would be the Heart Chakra at 528Hz, and again the Throat Chakra at 741Hz. Now, we need to learn how to express ourselves, we need to heal our hearts, and we need to speak what our heart is telling us to do. So sit back and relax, and I hope you enjoy the music. Bye for now.